What's good? What's good? What's good? Voice of the Fans podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in once again to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man Cam. Got my man Cleavon. What's good, Cleavon?
Oh man, hanging in here, Cam.
How's the weather out there? How's the weather up there in the Northwest, man?
Cam, it's been awesome. Thanks so much for asking. It's been comfortable, slight breeze. Sweats in the morning till about 8:30, and then hey man, it's all shorts weather. It's been fantastic.
I don't even know why I asked that question, man. And last night and yesterday, on my way to Dallas, I'm on location in Dallas right now, fans. I drove through precipitation. I guess that's what people call it. That's the official word for it. For 22 years, I had to deal with that stuff. Or for 20 of those 22 years, I had to deal with that stuff. And then I drive through it last night. That's the first time all year long I've driven through rain. I can't recall driving in rain all year, Cleavon. And what do you know? I leave the state of California, and the first day, within hours, I'm driving through rain. So that's going to take having to deal with weather now is going to be some adjusting for me. Cleavon, so let's get the show started. It is September 1. Man, the year has flown by. We're 7 days away from NFL action. We got NFL action going on today. Got some college football going on today anyway. But it's September 1, 2022, week 205, Cleavon, of this iteration of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Fans, we want to thank you guys for tuning in because you guys are the ones that make the show go. Without you guys, I just be talking shit to Cleavon and all the time, and you guys have I've had no way of recording my wins, and this way is a good way to record my wins. And we're gonna get into the recording. You guys will see who's been following us all through the years. Now this year we have some new technology we have that we can show you week after week.
Oh man,
kind of
week over week.
We can show you
in your face.
We can show you the percentages
in front of everybody.
It's not no longer talking about it, Cleavon.
No,
we got percentages that we can show you week after week. How efficient I am and my ratings are versus your ratings. Week after week, we're going to show this. How we're going to show Cleavon. You know what, Cleavon? I'm just for shits and grins right now. Cleavon, I'm going to go back and I want you to tell me off the top of your head, do you think you can do better than this right now? Now, and just give me a second. I'll tell you right in a moment in here. Momentarily, fans, I want to know if Cleavon has the confidence in his picks, in his assertion, and what he's talking about. Does Cleavon think, with all his infinite wisdom, he called himself Young Sam as a name. I don't know where it came from. We're gonna have to call him Old Sam because I don't think Young Sam has won anything for him. But nonetheless, Cleavon, can you surpass a 66% win rate on your picks this season? 66.6 win rate. That's what I want to know. 66.1, excuse me.
Fans, I'm gonna put it out here right now. Right now.
Oh, here we go. Okay, well, I got my notes. I got a pen out. I got my pen. I got pen
right here, now.
And we got notes, Cleavon. Cleavon, you can't just say anything.
I'm going to win.
You can't just say anything no more.
I'm going to win the Triple Crown of predictions this season. I'm going to win the confidence picks.
Oh boy, fans!
I'm going to win points against the spread. And what's the third thing that we play for, Cam? Let them all know.
Cleavon, you're going to win what?
I'm going to win overall picks. Who has the most picks?
Our confidence picks, yep.
No. Who has the most correct picks?
Okay, correct picks. That's three.
I'm going to win the points against the spread.
That's 2.
And I'm going to win the confidence picks.
That's
Triple
3.
Crown.
Cleavon, that hasn't been. You haven't done that. I don't think you've done that in your career.
I'm calling out here right now, fans. This is the year 2022 Triple Crown.
And are you willing to put some on that?
Man, we'll see what happens.
Oh, we'll see what happens. See, that's the kind of voting Cleavon does. That's the kind of lack of confidence in his own.
Because I put things on it, Cam, but nothing ever really comes to fruition with that, man. It's like, man, I'm gonna give you a Maserati if you do this, and you're not gonna give me.
Oh, ain't that nothing? Ain't that nothing? Like he didn't sit in Daniels for an hour and a half with a fucking
That was great. That was
paper
great. That was
napkin over his
fantastic.
shirt.
I appreciated that. But there's been like 17 incredible victories after that, man. It's been.
Oh,
but yeah, I'm willing to put something on.
What are we talking about? Like Deshaun Jackson playing 8 games? Are we talking about that? Are we talking about Kyle Pitts not making the playoffs? Is that what we're talking about? Are we talking about? Are we talking about Carson? Are we talking about? Are we talking about Chris Carson? Are we talking about Chris Carson gaining 850 yards?
You're at the controls.
I mean, are we talking about? Are we talking about any
back
of
to
those
our
things?
entire betting history?
I'm just saying. Are we talking about
all the things that haven't happened for you?
Or you want to talk about the Seattle Mariners? Or we're still hoping for this to happen? What do we want to talk about? Are we still
hoping for the Mariners?
Okay, we want to talk about the Lakers.
There's a segment for that later.
So what do you? I mean, so you want to throw out a statement like that as if your wins aren't being?
I have some Brazilian steak dinners. I got some Ivor's happy hours. I got some pound of ribs just sitting around spoiling.
I was spoiling. Is that what's going on?
Spoiling. Haven't been collected upon.
I mean, okay.
I mean, you show the things that you want to show, and that's fine.
Show the things
you want to show. You don't show the other things, but that's fine.
Oh, Brooklyn Nets supposed to make the finals. That was one thing. I mean, we got a whole list of what you're supposed to say. Wow. Here's one thing. The Brazilian dinner. I mean, I don't know how this. I don't know how.
So he does have one. You see, fans, he has them there. You just don't want to.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there.
He only wants to accentuate the positives for him. That's fine.
I mean,
I said it. Triple Crown this year.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. I was just trying to
be quite honest. Just to get the Grand Slam, I'm gonna get the fantasy football trophy too. So it's gonna be all 4 of them.
Oh, it's fans!
All 4 of them.
And fans, this is the time of year. This is the exact time of year, fans. This time of year, everything is rosy.
Cameron's gonna be crumpled down to the ground. He's not even gonna want to do the show anymore because he's gonna be like, God, I have to hear all this.
I'm not worried about that at all. Okay. That's one thing I'm not worried about. All 4 of those happen. I'm not even worried about the Triple Crown.
Grand Slam.
Fans, but it's this time of year. This is the time of year where everybody should be hopeful. Everybody making their fantasy football draft picks, you're like, yeah, I got this. This is gonna work. I'm all in. Cleveland, you just had your draft last night, right? So you're like, yeah, this is it. This is it, huh? And so he's still drooling over it. What would you wipe your mouth off a little bit? I mean, you're on
a little bit, right? Man. I mean,
you're on camera. Now, come on,
it's hard to curb the enthusiasm. The way I pick these teams. It's hard to curb it.
We got a draft coming up this weekend. But you see how the excitement. This is the excitement you feel when the season hasn't started. There's been no kickoffs. There's been no losses. There's been no retribution for these picks right here. Nobody's saying that. He feels rosy. He feels like his team's going to the championship. But buddy, let me tell you, when you start picking against me in the regular season, you're going to see fans will be able to now. There's technology involved in this show, Cleveland. Well, fans will be able to fans will be able to see week in, week out what our percentages are.
Okay,
they'll be able to see if you're up. They'll be able to see if you're down. So Cleveland, you better watch.
I would like some type of metrics where the fans are able to say, "Man, who has the fantasy football team right now?" Cam or young Sam. I mean,
we'll have that conversation when our teams are picked.
Yeah.
We'll have when the teams are made.
Sure. Yeah, man. You'll be down there. You'll be down there cutting down trees and whatnot, man. And mowing acres of lawn. You'll be in smelt.
I didn't come down here to cut no grass. That's for sure, bro. That's for sure. I didn't come down here to cut no grass. Hey, so let's get into the show, man. We do our number game each and every week. We do our numbers. This week again, September 1, 2022. This is week 205 of this iteration of the Voice of the Fans podcast. The number one. When you think of the number one, who wore that number best, or who comes to your mind first, Mr. Cleveland? That number one.
Cam, I think it's one and the same. I think it is Warren Moon.
What?
With those
with
those 5 straight Grey Cups with the Edmonton Eskimos, and then brought it down here to the league, and then threw for 30 more. It was combined. I think he's top 4 all time in passing yards.
Okay, but you didn't mention one thing. You didn't mention he went to the school in Montlake. You didn't mention that.
Oh, everybody knows that. Everybody
I mean,
knows he's a a
you
UW
didn't
proud
mention
alum.
that, so you reluctantly gave him the title, huh? Gus Williams, come on, man. How can you? Gus Williams won a championship. Ain't that what you always preach? Oh, you gotta win. You gotta win a ring. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring. Gus Williams won a championship. He can't get no recognition. You
Yeah,
finally gave some recognition to somebody from UW, though. I applaud you.
he
I applaud
absolutely
you.
gets recognition.
And
I
your
mean,
three
Gus was that guy.
cementers. Yeah,
Got him hanging on my wall right here.
Okay. And then number 5. When the number 5. Thinking of number 5, who wore that number best? Or who comes you on first?
Cam, as the weeks kind of go on, I'm thinking that's kind of one and the same as well, man. Fat Albert Pujols.
Oh, look at him. Look at him riding high, huh? With Albert doing his thing. Albert's he's trying not to be done. You think he's gonna play next year?
No, I think he's done. I think he wants to go out
He's just
with
going
his
out strong.
swan song. I think he understands himself, but I do think that this is kind of contradictory to my big argument, right? Like when you have when you're that guy, it's time to go take your talents to the big city and see what you can do and personify and extend your brand, right?
He tried that.
When he left St. Louis, he was not the same player for those 8-9 years in Los Angeles, whether it was for the Angels or the Dodgers. Comes back to St. Louis, all of a sudden, man, he found the fountain of youth. It's a little bit laid back, a little slower. Everybody loves him. It's like, oh, I can just be relaxed and just swing for the fences again. It's like, like I wish I never left. I mean, I feel the same like when King Griffey Jr. came back. Except for he didn't have quite as much left in the tank as Albert when he went back to St. Louis. But I mean, it was like, oh, why did I ever leave this place? And it's like, you go through that regret when you walk out on the field, but at the same time, you're a better version of yourself.
Well, I think it's a good way for him to go out. Good job for Pujols. He's already a Hall of Famer, so go out. And I mean, they're not going to win a championship, but La Russa, I mean, since we're talking about the Cardinals, La Russa falling asleep in the dugout during the games. What do you think about that? Do you think La Russa finishes the season?
Well, I mean, La Russa's over there with the White Sox.
The La Russa come back? Oh, excuse me.
I mean, he's over there with the White Sox now, and he coached Pujols through his his prime.
Does he come back though?
I mean, he's 77. He's kind of seems like it's kind of losing it. It's a tad bit for a game that's really fast moving like this, and we'll see. If I had to vote out, I would say he would come back. He's just that kind of a stubborn kind of a dude. He's gonna pop some pills and be like, man, I'm fine. I'm just fine. Get me back in that dugout, making those decisions.
So you say Pujols again. You neglect to say probably the greatest Husky ever, Mario Bailey.
Super Mario was great.
You neglect to say him. Jalen Rose, George Brett. Was George Brett better than the Pine Tar?
Oh man, George Brett had a 390, something like that. Batting average for an entire season. Man, come on, man. He was 400 like with 20 games to go. George Brett was great.
So NFL, next week game start. This week is week 0, if some people want to call it. So we got some movement in the NFL. We got some players getting cut. We got some players getting picked up with other teams. We got some guys signing fresh deals. Your guy, Russell Wilson, 5 years, $245. So he actually 7 years now commits to the Broncos, $49 a year for 7 years. Woo! That's all I got to say about that. Woo! Russell's already over 30, and he signs a 5-year deal on top of his. Bro, keep getting those checks. We talked about it endlessly. What I think of Russell, who Russell is, the quintessential game manager. Put a lot of good talent around him.
Wow, I'm so sorry. I never heard you refer to Russell Wilson as the quintessential game manager.
That exactly what he is he not? That's not what his career's been.
I mean, it sounds like you're putting him on the same plane with like Alex Smith and like
No.
Cousins. I
I
mean,
never said that.
quintessential game
What?
manager. I
What
mean,
are you
I think
talking about?
I think he's a game changer from what I've seen for the last 10 years up here, Cam.
All right. Well, now if you want to blow it out of proportion, I mean, you could say you could call him what you want to. I was describing Russell Wilson as the quintessential game manager. That's what he's been throughout his career. That's what he was when he won the championship. That's what he's been since. If anybody expecting something else, I'm not sure what maybe I'm seeing things or they're seeing something I'm not. But that's what I think Russell is. And now I was surprised. I heard let me see. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. Maybe it was yesterday. No, it was in fact today that the Denver Broncos are going to win the AFC West. I was like, what? Time out. There's still KC is still there, and the Chargers are there. What are we talking about? I'm not convinced that the Broncos are better than the Raiders at this point. And again, I love Russell Wilson. There's a lot of talent there in Denver. I understand this. The defense is talented. The offensive line is suspects is better than suspect. Let me not say that. But they have two quality running backs in Williams and Gordon. They have Patrick. They have Sutton as the receiving core. I'm forgetting somebody else on the receiving core.
You're forgetting Jerry Jeudy, and unfortunately Patrick is toward the ACL.
Patrick toward the ACL, excuse me. They have Jerry Jeudy, but they have a backup for Patrick. I'm forgetting his name right now, but they have a Patrick.
But you go. It's gonna come to you about week 4, week 5.
So. Well, he gonna have to. He better show up by then. But do you expect? I mean, this kudos for him for getting his contract. That doesn't change what I think of Russell and where I think of him in the Western Conference. In that particular conference, I still have them. They're fighting for the Raiders. They're fighting for the Raiders, and that's going to be a good fight because the Raiders are full of talent. And I love Russell Wilson, but I'm not sure he changes the Broncos that dramatically. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand that because you called him like the quintessential game manager.
And that's no disrespect. I'm not disrespecting him by that.
That's tremendous disrespect for someone that's rushed for as many yards as Russell Wilson. For someone that's been a nine-time Pro Bowlers are not game managers.
What'd you call him? What'd you just say?
9-time Pro Bowlers are not game managers.
Huh?
Yeah, 9 consecutive Pro Bowls. That's not a game manager, bro. Yeah. You're just not like, just giving, taking what the defense is giving you. And, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I mean, this guy has been to the playoffs. I don't know how many times. What was it? 7 of his years here?
Well, yeah.
Back-to-back Super Bowls.
Okay.
I mean, I think the resume is fairly impressive. The Broncos thought so as well. That's why they gave him $250 million. So you don't give game managers $250 million to run your franchise. So yeah, that is disrespectful, regardless of what you're trying to say. I don't understand how you thought that was ever a compliment.
Quintessential game manager. Cleveland's offended over there. Cleveland's offended over there. How many times did he make the Pro Bowl though? How many times did?
9-time Pro Bowler. Yeah.
9 consecutive times.
9 consecutive.
And you guys replaced him with who? Who did the Seahawks replace him with?
Interrupted my whole train of thought right there, Cam.
Pete Carroll said, "Who?"
Yeah, you left it. You're happy about it. You're happy about interrupting my whole train of thought. You're happy about
Pete Carroll said, "What?"
Some real estate in my head with that. Yeah. You left it. Watch this jump up and down. Watch this jump up and down, Cam. Watch you click your heels, man.
What did Pete say?
You're so happy.
He said, "We don't need that."
206, man.
He said, "We don't need that." Let's go with Geno Smith. Enough for Russell. Let's go with Geno. That's what your guy Pete says. Okay, so what did Russell sign with the Broncos? They get a deal done. Boom, we don't hear about it. Overnight, they get the deal done. Lamar Jackson, no agent, no relationship with the guy who signs a deal. We're still struggling we don't know what's happening. Lamar don't know what's happening. Lamar's saying, okay, just give me 251. But again, he gonna go into the season. Does he go into the season with no deal?
No one knows, can I mean, everybody can speculate all that they want, but I mean, as the dominoes continue to fall, this isn't us, like you were saying, an older quarterback getting a tremendous amount of money, the second highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL. So, what is Lamar Jackson worth at 25 years old?
He got he. I mean,
But how is he determining his own value? There's no one that's
to
kind of
bounce that off.
advising him on what that
Yeah,
is.
like
He just has random thoughts. I don't want to speak for him. It seems like he has just random thoughts and numbers, and whenever they send the contract over, he's just looking at the bottom line number, and it's not what he wants. But I don't think he's giving them a very good idea either as to what will get this deal done. Because if there was some type of like, I want 270, well, we'll give you 250. Well, how about 255? Okay.
right.
At some point, it has to there's the
Right.
margin for error is not that great, right?
Is he going instead? Is he skipping practice to go negotiate his contracts, or is he missing? Not having not going in the quarterback room because he's talking with the owner about let's get this done. Who knows?
Shouldn't be, but again, you're wearing both hats, so you have to kind of do both. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, quarterbacks coach, I got to take this real quick.
Okay. Well,
it's Mr. Biscotti. He wants to talk about this right now.
Sir, do you know like everything kind of evolves around you? Like everything this isn't the typical Tom Brady offense where our quarterback's going to take 3 steps and he's going to fire. It's going to be on time right here. It's like, okay, dude, you need to see this. You need to let us know what you're thinking when you drop back, and you don't see what you're looking at, and like how would you like things to go? Like everything's built around you. Like every single thing, whether we actually have a quarterback rollout, a quarterback draw. You're the guy, buddy. And so you taking off, like it really hinders both sides of the process. So why don't you get somebody over here. If it's your lawyer, call your lawyer, the agent. Get him over here. Let him handle the conversation. And at the end of the day, we can probably get something done. I think he's hindering his own process right now. Nonetheless, Seattle, Pete didn't want Russell. Pete apparently didn't want Baker. Pete apparently didn't want Jimmy either. He drug his feet, and now Jimmy resigns with the 49ers. What's your thoughts on Jimmy resigning with the 49ers? Good fit for him, good match. It allows him to heal. Do you think now the Niners he's still under a manageable contract? Do you think the Niners, does this up his potential trade offer when somebody gets hurt?
No, I mean, it's a sad day here in the 206 for the Seahawks. I mean, everybody was still, holding out hope that, eventually this situation with regards to the starting quarterback for the Seahawks, man. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Excuse me, man.
5 minutes to bust out in spontaneous laughter. You think of Geno Smith at the helm. Go ahead, man. Get it all out.
I got nothing to say,
man. I'll finish up when you're done.
I don't got nothing to say. I'm just saying. I was holding this time. I was holding this time. I was legitimately holding it. I don't got nothing to say. You guys are. It's a sad day in the 206.
Well, it's a sad day because it has become very, very clear that this is really going to be the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks start week 1. And Jimmy G is not coming in on the white horse to rescue us, man. And that he's going to be, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, get it out, man. Go ahead, get it out.
So Monday night to kick off the season, to kick off a brand new season, your guy Pete Carroll is really going to send out Geno Smith as a starting quarterback?
Yes, that's really going to happen.
Oh man! And this is the guy you said is not even, the seat is not even warm. That's what you told me last season, like 8 weeks ago. His seat ain't even warm. That's what you told me. You still comfortable with that?
Yes, the plan is simply to do whatever you have to do to get JT Stroud. It's got to be the plan. If that's not the plan, I mean, I don't really understand what the plan is.
Sinking for Stroud. That's it. Sinking for Stroud.
Sinking for Stroud. Yeah.
Question. Okay, I'm going off script here. This is totally off script, but this week I heard, and it kind of makes sense, Cleveland. You're gonna laugh. It kind of made sense, and it almost had me sold on Tua. Almost. Couple things at play here, and I'll share them with you. You let me know how it makes it makes sense. Mike McDaniels, as a head coach, ran that San Francisco's offense last year. Right? We know how innovative and player friendly it was for players like Deebo Samuels, who everybody is hunting for the quarterback. People had questions about. Everybody had a couple questions about him, but then there's a lot of people who said this guy wins. So where there's some questions, you look at the record, his resume, and you see W's, Super Bowl appearance, NFC Conference Championship when he's the starting quarterback. Mike McDaniels got the best out of that guy, Jimmy G, who you wanted in Seattle. So what can Mike McDaniels do with Tyreek Hill, who everybody already agrees is the most explosive player in the game, right? Everybody you would agree with that, right? Is there anybody more explosive than Tyreek Hill?
I don't think so.
So you got Tyreek Hill. Is he a step up from Deebo Samuels? Probably.
Certainly catching the ball in explosive yards after catch.
Probably. Can Mike McDaniels make Tua Tagovailoa the left-handed Jimmy G? Can he get the success that Jimmy G has had in his career out of Tua Tagovailoa? He's proven.
Cam, you already know Tua is going to tear it up, man, and it's going to tear you up when he tears it up. Man. You already know it's going to happen, man. If he stays healthy, the Dolphins are going 13-4 into the playoffs, man.
What?
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, he's going what? 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, who are you, a Mike McDaniel fan? Are you a Tua fan? Are you?
Tua's got the tools.
I never heard all of this before.
I mean, like you said, he's got the most explosive player in the game. He's got the Waddler on the other side. He's got a very potent running game. Mostert. My guys from the UW, Gaskin, Sal Von man.
I like that they made the team. I like that they made the team. We keep that.
Sicky's running, running at the tight end. The defense is quite formidable. So yeah. Buffalo a couple of times. There's going to be some tough games. New England, maybe they drop one of those. Maybe 12-5. 12-5 sounds a little bit more realistic. I'll have to go back over the schedule really thoroughly, but 12-5.
That's still a major upgrade. And if they get to 12-5, I don't know, Cleveland. I don't know, bro. They get to 12-5, but I was almost convinced that Mike McDaniel down there in Miami is going to have those guys a formidable team to play with and a formidable team to reckon with. I was almost convinced, and seeing what he's done, like I don't think it's far fetched to see if he can get the best out of Jimmy, he can get the best out of Tua. We'll see. We'll see what that happens. However, Miami cut Sony Michel, who was in their backfield.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers picked up Sony Michel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. That tells me that tells me something. That tells me if they went out, they're not fond of actually going to get picking up player from the scrap heap. The Chargers aren't or haven't been, and going to get this guy tells me they have zero confidence in the running back course that they have in the running backs that they have in their backfield now. And to go get Sonny Michel, who's proven, I think he's kind of proven throughout the league that Bill didn't want him. He went to a couple other teams who couldn't get it done, and the Dolphins, who needed a running back, cut him. I don't like this for the Chargers. That tells me something. That tells me that they don't like any of the running backs, and too bad for them. Too bad for them. The notable players that are available? OJ Howard, did he get signed? Did you hear about him getting signed?
Not that I have heard. Not that I have heard so far.
Surprised that he's available. Another Alabama talent. Leatherwood got cut by the Raiders.
Another Alabama talent.
Richardson, Sheldon Richardson from the Vikings. Done. Sue from the Bucks out of here. Eric Fisher from the Colts. Like, I think he'll be getting a call before it's done. Who's available out there that you'd like to see the Seahawks get other than I mean, is there a quarterback available for you guys that you coveted? I mean, I don't know.
No, there's not. No, there's not a quarterback that we covet.
I mean,
from the scrap heap of the rest of the league. But and Ndamukong Suh, he's from this area, so yeah, come up here and show some of these young cats how to be mean.
Okay, well, hey, they need that, because step on a few ankles, right? Step on a few forearms, hey.
But a few heads, yeah, whatever it takes, man.
Okay. Man, well, we got football coming up next week. So fans, this is I guess the first week of before the next 2022 where we have our picks to go through, right? Because no college picks. We'll have the spread and we'll have everything available for you guys.
We'll have it all.
It'll be a wide open again.
A weekly update as to who's winning and who's losing.
No, Cleveland.
And how close we are.
It'll be posted for you. It'll be posted for the world to see.
Yeah. Send it out. Post it on the on the site, man. The results.
Cleveland, there's been some action. Let's jump right into the NBA stuff, man. NBA has been wild. NBA has been hot with the KD stuff all summer long. What's going to happen with Westbrook all summer long? That's been some hot topics. Now, we had Rudy Gobert go to Minnesota. Some people think that really elevates Minnesota and what they did. The Jazz turn around again and get rid of. Now they got rid of Rudy and Donovan Mitchell. So the Jazz is in that Victor Wembanyama fest because they sent Donovan Mitchell to the Cavaliers for 3 first-round picks and 2 first-round swaps. And essentially, that's all. That's what the Cavaliers got. What do you think of this? Does that make where does this put the Cavaliers?
I think this puts the Cavaliers about 5 or 6 in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, so I had them 5 or 6. Good, same cogent point. Are they better than the Raptors in the conference?
Oh, for sure, they're better than the Raptors. They're
for sure.
Oh, they're bigger. They're bigger, and now they have a legitimate scorer. So that was always kind of their issue, right? Excuse me. Is putting points in, putting points against other teams. So they kind of alleviated that problem, and they're just bigger than everybody else.
So does Donovan now that is he an all-star in the West or in the East? Excuse me.
Oh, quite possibly. You never know how these things shake out. I mean, there's a lot of guards in the East. It's like he was an all-star in the West. So, I mean, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that
he gotta be that. He gotta be an
that the
all-star.
amount of talent in the East is greater than it was where he left. So, yeah, he's an all-star.
Okay, RJ Barrett signing 120 mil with the Knicks. Is that a? What do you think? Is that a good investment?
Hey,
Clearly,
man, Steve
clearly they
Nash is
don't want to trade him.
godson, man. I hope he can pull him aside and show him a few extra things because it's going to be an additional amount of pressure that's going to be probably insurmountable for him, considering what they are now expecting from him. I don't think he's going to be able to deliver, but we'll see.
Your Lakers signed Patrick Beverly. I mean, are they trolling? Are they trolling your guy Russell or what? Are they trolling Russell? I mean, what are they expecting to get out of Patrick?
Weird. It's weird when you trade for Patrick Beverly. It's like, why are you trading for him? Like, I can understand if it was kind of like he's available, he adds depth to our roster, and this and that. But trading for him,
Yeah, you gave up THT, the guy you wouldn't give up for last year for Buddy Hill.
Okay, hey, look, I don't know how all the things are working with Pelinka, Kobe Bryant's former agent, Jalen Rose's teammate. I don't know. I don't know kind of what they're doing, but maybe this is just one of the moves that kind of helps them get over the hump and get back towards that championship run.
Patrick Beverly, that's what's going to help you get to the
man. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good like when you're saying it out loud. It sounds kind of horrible.
But what you think? You think it's something's going to be different when they actually start to put the ball up in the air?
I'm hoping that the way that it sounds when it comes out is not really what's really going on.
He said it sounds kind of nasty when it comes out your mouth. But when they tip it off, it's gonna be different.
I'm hoping he brings something I'm just not aware of. Yeah,
Pat Bever's a homie. Pat Bev is gonna bring energy and excitement. I don't think he's bringing wins to your franchise. And the fact that you guys have turned to Pat Beverly, is it trolling Russell Westbrook? Is that what you're doing? Is that?
That's not it at all. It's not a Russell Westbrook trolling moment. It's just simply like it is somewhat.
I mean, so you've been trying to get the best out of Russell, though. You've been trying to get the best out of Russell, have been unable to do it. And do you think bringing in his enemy is the way to get the best out of him?
I don't know. And to be perfectly honest with you, this happens sometimes. You bring somebody in and it just backfires on you, and then 3 weeks later they're out. So.
Who's out? Rob or Patrick? Who's
out? Pat Bev. Yeah, I mean, I have the stinking suspicion Pat's gonna get a little bit too comfortable with things, and he's gonna think he's bringing all that energy and attitude, and really it's just annoyance, and he's gonna be in the first playing Indiana.
Well, did he sign with Clutch? Because that's a telltale. Did he sign?
I don't know. Even so, irritate. You know how irritating the king goes. You know about how long you last when you're irritating the king. So,
hey, the king had a proof for this. The king.
Okay, right, but he's gonna be in for a rude awakening if he thinks he's just going to do just Pat Bev stuff just all the time, man. That's not what we do here.
So okay,
I have to get a haircut even.
So now you guys are going with the length of hair rules. Length of hair rules. You guys might have to go. They have the length of hair rule like the New York Yankees. Oh, wow. Yeah. You guys are full of yourself, bro. I tell you that. So are you saying Patrick Beverly is not going to be there when Bronny or Bryce come to the Lakers?
Probably not.
No, you gonna have.
I have a feeling that Pat Bev is one of those guys going to have something to say, about it, kind of thinking that he has like a voice or an opinion. It's gonna be like, oh wow, really? Gotcha. And this for 2 second rounders to to the Wizards. See how you like it out there.
Oh, he won't stay long. So you're not looking for this marriage to last too long.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I could certainly see it like not going well.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because I feel like Patrick Beverley is going to feel like he's a little bit too full of himself, and kind of having those moments where you're kind of riling up the Los Angeles Laker crowd. You'll all of a sudden think that hey man, you're drinking from the goblet of greatness, and really you're just Pat Beverley. And if it gets a little too out of hand, it's time for you to go.
Wait, so he can't sip from the goblet?
I mean, he can sip from it, but he can't grab it from nobody and just hog the goblet like it's his. It's like,
he got to wait for it to come around the room.
Every once in a while, sip.
And where's Russell? Is he sitting next to Russell, or are they fighting over the sip of the goblet?
No. Russ has priority for the goblet, man. Yeah.
Oh,
man.
okay. Hey,
if there's some left over, sometimes there's not going to be nothing left over when Russ is done with the goblet. And, don't get an attitude like, hey, why didn't Russ leave me nothing in the goblet? It's like,
and LeBron's going to take Pat for that.
What's that?
And LeBron is going to take Pat for that.
I mean, if it gets to be a problem, yeah. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I fear that Pat Bev's going to have a tough time staying in his lane. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. Another thing that makes this season more interesting for the Lakers, as always. And your guy, the King, says he now wants to play with Bronny and Bryce. So
on the cover SI, 20 years later, man, it's a beautiful thing.
So what version of LeBron are we gonna see playing with Bronny and Bryce?
I believe the versions that I've heard will be kind of like Vince Carter, kind of as he was kind of winding down, maybe a little between Vince Carter and Udonis Haslem, kind of in that same kind of in between there somewhere. Every once in a while he might give you 12, but probably not too often. Gonna a lot of DNPs.
And this is going to be for the Lakers?
We're not sure exactly what franchise is going to be for Cam because we don't really actually know if either one of his offspring are NBA caliber players. But that's an idea that he has in his head.
Well, Genie is going to if LeBron says draft my son. I mean, I don't see Genie missing that opportunity. Oh, we have the first father-son combination in the playing for the Lakers organization, and just how my dad would want it. I think that's Genie would say that. Do you disagree?
I mean, it depends on where the Lakers are as a franchise at that point.
What do you mean it depends?
Some things it's not always all about marketing, Cam. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's not.
You do have to have some semblance of talent. And already the fact that you're saying that both of his sons are NBA caliber players, LeVar said that, and true enough, they were ballers. LeBron's saying that, but we don't really actually know. I mean, we'll see.
Right. Well, whether they are or they're not, I mean, it's going to be the Lakers that get their opportunity, right?
I mean, you're putting words on me, Kim. I don't know, man. It's years down the road, and I'm not ready to really talk too tough about it. If it comes to fruition, that's great, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're talking about something that coming to fruition. Is John Wall's reemergence in the NBA going to come to fruition?
No.
What is John Wall? Is he going to be the difference maker for the Clippers to get them to the playoffs, or not the playoffs?
No, let me cut you off real quick, Cam. No.
You don't think this is going to be a good partnership?
Yeah, not really.
Well, I mean, you ain't seen the highlights of John Wall doing his thing?
No.
Getting buckets up?
Nope. Have you?
I have, actually.
How he look? How he look?
And that's the problem. The problem of John Wall getting buckets up is a problem because that's not what he's going to be doing for the Clippers, or that's not what he should be doing for the Clippers.
Right.
So
I think that lightning quick speed was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah. So he's not bringing that. So he never was really a great shooter. So
no, he needs to bring some distribution tech.
He wasn't always the best, assist to turnover ratio guy either. But
Well,
I guess you guys have a plan. I mean, Tyronn Lue, was a point guard himself, so maybe he can bring something out of him.
Yeah.
That no one else has been able to do to this point.
That's what he has to do, man.
For 10, 12 years.
Well, John Wall, come on, he was on a bad team for a lot of years, putting up good numbers on a bad team. We just needed to be able to the Clippers, just need to be able to use him to get good shots and easier shots for Kawhi and Paul George.
He doesn't have to be Batman no more. That's
exactly. Him in the highlights I see, him trying to be Batman. That's a problem. Like, settle down. You're going to be passing. You need to be practicing pass against the wall, behind your back, over your shoulder, between your legs, all that off the wall, buddy. Let it come back to you. That's what you need to be working on. So we'll see what happens, man. That's the NBA. Bronny and Bryce. That is funny that LeBron now says he wants to play with the two of his sons. I mean, more power to him.
More power to him.
But yeah. So let's take a break here, Cleveland. Let's take a break, man, and we are going to get into the show. Ninja, what's good, man? What's good? We missed you, Ninja.
What's up, man? We'll be right back after this short intermission.
Yeah. I didn't never say Russ was not a Hall of Famer, Ninja. I didn't say Russ wasn't great. Russ has been great. I said Russ was a quintessential point guard, or quintessential quarterback, game managing quarterback. That's what I said. Quintessential. Like, if there's somebody in the dictionary, you see game manager, you see Russell, picture of Russell. And that's not a game manager is not a derogatory. Game manager is not derogatory. Some people think game manager, and you do think of a player like Alex Smith. Game manager, I wasn't comparing a game manager. Saying that Russell Wilson is a game manager is not comparing him to Alex Smith. The wise, intelligent football fans understand that.
No, they don't. And this is the second highest paid quarterback in the history of the National Football League. 2-time Super Bowl participant. That's not a game manager.
He was a game manager. He got him there to his role as the game manager got them to the Super Bowl.
His evolution has been quite significant since then, right?
Unfortunately, his evolution has not got them to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that has not happened. But in his prime position,
okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree about this, Cam.
I mean, it is what it is. I love Russell. I don't think any less. I don't think any less of Russell.
I like to think Ryan Tannehill is the
Is what?
Optimal game manager.
Oh, get out of
you
here!
know.
I wish Ronnie Tanner was could
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
game manager.
That's not the same league as a Russell Wilson per se.
No, see, you got it all twisted up. You got it all twisted up, man.
Game manager.
Russell in his prime.
Dak Prescott's a pretty good game manager. I think Russell Wilson is a little bit above that as well.
When the team went to back-to-back Super Bowls, Russell Wilson was a game manager. Quintessential.
Okay, but the other times they went to the playoffs after that, he was not a game manager. I do. And a lot of those games they won, playoffs and regular season, were not because of his game management. It was because of his unique ability to do things where other players couldn't. So
You try and get me to say something bad about Russell, and I refuse.
No, you already did. You already called him the ultimate game manager.
That is not a derogatory statement. Once you understand where I'm coming from, that is not. You understand that.
Man, you realize you don't give the consummate game manager
I can only hope to have
Derek
a game
Carr
manager show up in Miami.
Is a pretty adept game manager. Kirk Cousins does a pretty good job of managing the game.
Not Kirk Cousins.
Game managers. Jalen Hurts is a game
manager. Jalen Hurts to be a game manager. Yes.
Okay. So now you're putting Russell Wilson in the same category as
No. See,
I'm sorry, above him. Because Jalen is pretty good at managing the game.
No, he needs to get there. That's the peak of what Jalen.
Well, sometimes from the quarterback position, Cam, you need a little bit more than just a game manager, and that's kind of the difference. And that's kind of what
So what does Russell do for the what does Russell do for the Broncos? So what does he do for the Broncos? What does Russell do for the Broncos? Does he get them to the AFC Championship?
I mean, quite possibly, yeah.
No, not quite possibly. Does he? He does not. I can tell you right now, he does not. He might not get the Broncos to the playoffs.
Okay.
The Broncos are going to be fighting for what? Them fighting for a playoff berth? Yes, absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
You said the Broncos are not going to make the playoffs.
No, I said
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said they might not make the playoffs.
That's exactly.
I didn't say they weren't going to make the playoffs. I said they might not make the playoffs. So are they going to make the playoffs, man? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. What you got on it, homie?
No.
Put something on it, homie. Woo! Because the Denver Broncos ain't gonna make the playoffs, man. Put something on it. What you got on it?
Give me next week. Remind me next week.
Okay, I certainly will.
I'm not going to change. The Broncos do not make the playoff, but remind me next week. We'll
cool.
With something.
More eats for me.
All right, fans. This week in history, we're going to talk about Gabriel Prosser. Slave revolt was betrayed in Virginia in 1800. He was betrayed. Told the people that he was trying to escape, and they wouldn't rat it on him. That was August 30th, 1800. 9/1/1867, Robert T. Freeman was the first Black to graduate from Harvard Dental School in 1867. So there were some Blacks getting educated back in the 1800s. September 1, 1960, German sprinter Armand Harry wins the coveted 100-meter gold medal in a 10.2 with a 10.2 number at the Rome Olympics, the first non-American to win this event since 1928. So nearly 30 years go by, 32 years go by for a non-American to win the 100-meter. That's funny. September 1, 1971, Pittsburgh Pirates start what believed to be the first all-Black lineup, including several Latinos in Major League history. The lineup included the Hall of Famer Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell as the Pirates went on to beat the Phillies that day. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know about that. 9/3/1838, Frederick Douglass escaped from slavery disguised as a sailor. Imagine that story being told. Pretty interesting there. And then September 1, 1987, Kirby Puckett goes 6 for 6 with 2 homers.
Mm.
6 for 6, Kirby. Don't kill him like that. No, don't do him like that, Kirby. Um, man, Cleveland, Brittany Griner, man, still being held up in Russia, still being used as a pawn. I think she's gonna be there a while, man. Unfortunately, as bad as that sounds, I think she's gonna be there a while. This is the way things are going. What you think?
Hoping she's back by holidays, man. Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah,
Certainly hoping it's not the
that,
9-year, 4 or 5 years into the 9-year sentence that is currently on the board.
right. Yeah, that'd be wild. What do you think of Serena's evolution, man? What's she doing out here in the U.S. Open, taking down the number 2 seed? Does that propel her? You think to? She takes the number 2 seeds game matches, right? So now she has the matches that the number 2 seed would have faced.
Oh, okay. So let's re-educate here real quick. First off, I mean, in the first round match, after winning that match, there was a big, long, ceremonious tribute to Serena and her contributions throughout her career, basically because everyone was understanding that her next opponent was the number 2 seed in the tournament, and that was somewhat unlikely that she was going to win that match. Serena was able to, find a little extra in the tank and pull that 3-set match out. And since then, I believe 3 other top 10 seeds, actually 2 other top 10 seeds in Naomi Osaka have all lost. So the draw is pretty open for her right now. Do I think that she's going to get to the finals? I don't. I think it's hard for her to continue to kind of play with that type of adrenaline and emotion. The New York crowd certainly does their part in trying to carry her to history and kind of that storybook ending. But I think it's either the 3rd or the 4th round that she finally ultimately ends up losing. However, I said that last match because I didn't think she could beat the number 2 seed, and look what she did. So
Cleveland is hating on the greatest tennis female.
Not hating on, just being realistic about the point that she's in her career at present, not what she's been able to accomplish over 20 years. Obviously, she was the athlete of the decade just a decade ago. So
you have the former athlete of the decade collapsing in all her glory.
I didn't see collapsing.
Right on center court.
She wasn't even supposed to win the last match, so everything after this is gravy and kind of icing on the cake.
So you have her choking up on her own vomit in the later matches because she don't know how to play, and that's what you have.
I did not say that
because you don't know she don't know how to stand the pressure of the U.S. Open.
It's not the pressure that's going to be the ultimate factor in her demise. It's going to be age and longevity, and these other players are younger and hit the ball harder, more consistently over time.
So the number 1 player is out, 2 more top 10 players are out, and you think she's gonna still have a tough time with the top players being out at this event? She can't sneak in there and upset some nobodies.
No, I would say no. She's not going to win.
Serena, I'm sending this to you, babe. I got this. I cut it out for you. This is Cleveland said no, and he has no faith in. Good thing that he did. Good things he's wrong a lot, Serena. Good thing for you, he's wrong a lot. Sue Bird now tied with the Las Vegas Aces. Tell what you think about this matchup.
Man, I like the way Sue Bird and Stewie came out and took that game 1 on the road. Already got that split that they were looking for. Game 2 was a little bit more. What I like about the WNBA camp? It's more physical than the NBA. You know what I'm saying? They let some more things go, man. They let some great plays go. It's not like everything is like a bunch of actors, man. They're really like hooping. I appreciate that. So game 2 was a little bit more physical. They weren't quite able to get over the hump of that, and so they come back to Seattle with a split. But I think Stewie and Sue Bird got something for him.
And that's his best out of 5 or best out of 7?
Best out of 5.
Yeah, I don't think they can beat Chelsea Gray and the Aces. Chelsea Gray's filthy, bro. And I don't think they can beat. I don't think they can. So the Chelsea, I mean, they're number one. The Aces are number one versus number 4 seed, right?
They got the coach of the year. They got the defensive player of the year. They got the most improved player. They got a lot of stuff going, right for them. But back to come up here to play climate, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to get to.
Okay. Albert Pujols closing in on 700 home runs. He has like what, 692, 693?
Something like that. Every day you gotta watch the Albert meter.
Are you watching the Albert meter? Or are you on?
I am watching the Albert meter. I mean, it's very reminiscent of when Alex Rodriguez is trying to get to 700. I mean, once you start kind of getting to you're getting close, you try and act like you're just trying to swing to get a hit, and if I get it, I get it. But no, man, you're trying to hit the ball over the fence. It's like if you get enough pitches, maybe, but that's a very difficult thing to do, to try to hit home runs. If you're a home run hitter by nature, that's great. And usually you can do that, through your mid, 30s. But once you get even older, it's like you're sitting on stuff, waiting on stuff. It's been interesting to watch. I hope he gets to it, but no, I think he's going to come up just a little bit short.
Who's the National League MVP this season?
Goldschmidt from St. Louis.
Who's American League MVP this season? Ohtani or Judge?
Julio Rodriguez is the American League most valuable player.
Stop it. Ohtani or Judge?
Judge.
Judge doesn't pitch, though.
Sure doesn't. Hits 51 home runs, might hit 60, 62, 63.
The other guy pitches, though.
That's cool.
And
what's their record? Are they in the playoffs?
Go by record now. The baseball, the players have little to do with their result of the game as any in baseball, right?
What does that mean?
Those stats you throw out doesn't mean nothing. And what's their record? Doesn't mean nothing. That's a team number, not what he's doing.
Oh, what's their record don't mean nothing, and he has no influence or impact on that. Okay. Well.
No, he
most valuable typically means that you've done something that brings your team to a higher level, higher heights, and greater accomplishments.
They win the game. What is
Shohei Ohtani's statistics don't really reflect.
I like how you did that. I like how you try to whip that around and say Shohei Ohtani, the American League MVP, his stats don't even amount to wins. I like how you did that, Cleveland, because that's the same logic I was trying to give you earlier. But somehow you try to come back with Ohtani. It matters with Ohtani, but nobody else. Does it matter? Cleveland, you are hysterical. He's telling me that Shohei Ohtani, his 7.3 win against replacement has no bearing on the game. He's telling me that his 30 home runs and 126 hits have no bearing on the game. That's what Cleveland want you to believe, fans.
The strikeouts, the wins, the ERA. I mean, he's a great player. I don't know if he's the most valuable player. I really think Julio Rodriguez is the most valuable player. I mean, you're talking about a team that's going to make the playoffs that hasn't made the playoffs in 21 years, the longest drought in all of North American sports.
Are you sure they're gonna make the playoffs? Are you ready to go there?
Have I jumped off the bandwagon? Have I said? I mean, you remember when this whole trajectory changed, right? You remember how it changed, right? You tried to question me. You're like, okay, look, man, I'm gonna give you this out, okay?
Right before the playoff, right before the All-Star break.
I'm gonna pull it back a little bit. You sure you want to stay on? And what did I say, Cam? What was my response to your question?
Before the season started, he's been saying the Mariners are gonna make the eight. So the Mariners let me turn off the pressure on you a little bit. Can the Mariners win 90 games?
Can the Mariners win 90 games? What is their record at present? I don't have their record right in front of me.
Their record is they have 73 wins, 73 and 58. 73 and 58 is their record. Can the Mariners win 90 games?
I won't put the 90 on them, but they will make the playoffs.
Yeah, you had them making the playoffs. I'm not mad at that. Yeah. How many times in Mariners history have they won 90 games?
Off the top of my head, I would say 4.
And what would those 4 years be?
It would probably be 2000. I'm sorry, probably 96. Somewhere between 96 and 2002.
So in 96, that was pretty good. 97, the first 90s in 1997. When the Mariners came alive in 76, something like that, 76, 77. It took them 20.
Season was 76. Yes.
It took them 21 years to win 90 games.
Okay.
Bums. 2097, they win 90 games. 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 90 games. And the last time they won 90 games in 2021. They just won 90.
Last year. Yeah.
Last year. Yeah. They barely 90 was the mark that they
won 90 games last year, and this is a better team. But hey, man, I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on them. I'm just going to say they're going to make the playoffs.
Why not? They can't win 17 more games?
They certainly could do both, but I'm just saying for right now, let's just, one thing at a time. First things first.
You don't have no confidence in the Mariners. The comp sound like the conference is
I have tremendous confidence in the Mariners. I actually understand what the Mariners are doing and why they are so good, which you don't.
It sounds like you're stacking a little bit.
Dark, but at the same time, I'm
not talking about Julio, my man. Julio, my man. Julio, my man. Francisco, that guy?
Oh no! Yeah. No, I heard the way you talked to Julio, and he heard the way you talked to him.
Hey, Chief, we good.
He didn't really appreciate it. We've had some correspondence since your interview. Yeah, he didn't.
When I asked him,
like it. Yeah.
I asked him if he was aware of the drought and how he.
Yeah, no, you was trying to rub it all in his face, man, like some dirty laundry, man.
Hey, Julio, how you gonna fix this, bro? That's what I wanted to.
Yes, talk about that. I mean, y'all know about that. He's like, hey, man, I'm on it.
Okay, Julio.
And put some spec on my name since you've been calling me Francisco this whole time. Act like I don't know. I know my social media.
We talked about it. Being Julio Francisco is cool.
See, Robert, yes. These last couple of weeks, you're gonna be able to do that. I don't know if you noticed he signed almost a $500 million contract, man. So yeah, you're gonna know his name.
Yeah, he signed with the Mariners, man. That fly by night bunch of busters.
Low budget,
yeah.
That's Paul George stuff right there.
Oh, but no, in all seriousness, the Mariners have a chance to do something, man. That it's been only done 7 times. I wonder, they probably had the least amount of 90-game wins in the Major League Baseball. They probably have the least, and so we'll go through that one time, man. But I think Julio, Theo Epstein will still be a good look for those guys. That's about it, Cleveland. I got a quote for you, man. Anything we didn't talk about? You got anything you want to get off your chest, man?
Anything that I want to get.
We got football next season. We got fantasy football draft, man. What's your fantasy squad looks like? Who'd you pick up? Who was a must-have on your fantasy squad?
Who was a must-have on my fantasy squad? Jonathan Taylor. He's a must-have.
Must-have Jonathan Taylor? So you picked early. because you can't pick less than 5 to come up with Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I'll think about our league. I mean, I don't know where you had me
No.
slotted at to draft.
No, that's random, man. That's random. Everybody thinks I create the draft. That's random. It tells what time it is, and you got to check it an hour before draft time. It's totally random. I have nothing to do with it. So
okay. Yeah, man. Ezekiel Elliott is my sleeper.
Oh, he's clowning. Oh, he's clowning too. He's clowning.
He's my sleeper.
DK, you gonna take DK as you're coming back around?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know,
that's what you do.
You know, gotta throw it to somebody, right?
Oh yeah, I got you. All right, man. Thanks for your time in the show. Let me leave you guys with this quote, Cleveland. Never let your head hang down. Never get up. Sit down and grieve. Find another way. I'll repeat that for you guys. Never let your head hang down. Never get up and sit down and grieve. Find another way. That's a historic Negro Leagues patriot, Satchel Paige, giving you that quote. Never let your head hang down. Never get up. Never give up. Sit down and grieve. Find another way. Satchel Paige, man. That's a quote I want to leave you guys with, fans. Thank you for your time. Fans, anything donations you want to give to the show, make sure you see us at underscore voice of the fans. Excuse me. That underscore voice of the fans at underscore voice of the fans. That's a Twitter handle at underscore voice of the fans. But anything you guys want to donate to the show, your boy's traveling cross country, man. You can use anything that you guys send my way. Gas, Cleveland, you know what the diesel fuel cost. You know what diesel fuel costs, bro, nowadays? You ever see that? Diesel's up at $5.
It's like the 8.59 range, ain't it?
No, luckily diesel's been hovering around that $5 mark, $5 per gallon.
Oh.
And it's costing $200 per not even fill up. The first time my car cut off. I wasn't putting so much gas in it. I was at $175. The card said, no, there must be a problem here. We gotta stop. Next time I say $200 and it's still to get the tank is not full. Tank still doesn't shut off at $200. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Third time I went to 212, still didn't shut off. I was like, 212 is enough, man. So I gotta fill her up tomorrow. Another $200 right off the rip. That's how I get my day started tomorrow. $200 on the way to Bama. Thank you guys for tuning in, though, Cleveland. Thank you for being a part of the show, man. Appreciate your assistance. Fans, thank you guys for tuning in. We're still going to give you, even though we got some relocation, next week we'll announce some news when we get the season started. But even though there's a relocation going on, we still bring you some hot topics. Cleveland, we got historic evidence now that we can show you week to week, fans, of what's going on with the Voice of the Fans. Pick 'em game. Cleveland can every week you'll see how distraught he is about talking about how our season is going as far as the pick 'em segment.
Yeah. Show
him. Thanks for your time, Cleveland. Talk to you soon, man. Fans, thank you guys. Talk to you soon. See you next week, fans. And we'll have a couple of draft parties this weekend, right, Cleveland? I know I got a couple of parties this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be a celebration. I believe it's Sunday 1 o'clock. Yeah,
Sunday,
I might have to have it catered with barbecue and whatnot. We'll see.
Ooh, he said he's trying to clown. All right, fans. Thank you guys for your time, Cleveland. Thank you for your time. We will see you guys on Sunday. Look for us on Sunday. Thanks, Cleveland.
Right on, bro.
Later.